What up world, Nicholas Coriano here, and in this video I want to discuss market research, what it is, industry analysis, what it is, and why it is so important. So my name is Nick, went to business school, went to law school, got a ton of businesses, 29 apartments, rental units, a laundromat, 10 online businesses, everything from drop shipping to services. I'm an entrepreneur, man. I own a laundromat. Did I say I own a laundromat? And I've had a ton of failed businesses, and now I have some successful businesses. I've had 1,000 business planning clients, which is what I do for a living, a lot of consulting. But I wanted to discuss today market research and industry analysis. It's a section of every business plan that you should have. Market research generally refers to the demographics within a certain business. So for example, if you're going to open up a retail operation in a certain county or a certain city, your market research is going to tell you everything about that county. How many women are there? How many men are there? What ages they are? How much money they make? How much traffic is running by the store? That's the market research. It's usually population based. So if you're an e-commerce store, it may be nationwide. It may be, North America, maybe the market research. And usually it pinpoints the actual market that you're trying to target. So for example, if you're opening up a maternity store, right, you may focus on how many children are being born, how many pediatricians there are, how many female pregnancies, or how many males, household units were there, just so you can get a scope of who your potential clients are or customers are. Because just because you open up a maternity store doesn't mean that only pregnant women are going to shop there. It could be the husband. Could be a family member that wants to give a gift. But generally, market research is in tune to the population. So if you're opening up a chicken spot, a restaurant, you want to know, well, how many people eat out? How many other restaurants are there in the area? What's the population of that area? How much money do they make? How many households are in that area? Do they have Uber Eats in that area? That's generally the market research. The industry analysis is more in tune with what the industry is doing. So if you're going to open up a retail store, it's going to tell you more along the lines of what's retail doing in the last 20 years. What's retail doing in the Northeast? What's retail doing in the malls? What's retail doing in the strip malls? If you're going to open up a restaurant, what are other restaurants doing? What kind of POS systems do they use? What are the profit margins in franchises versus fast food places versus takeout places? So industry reports usually give you data based on the industry. That's why they're called industry reports. So that's the baseline. Industries will tell you about your competitors, again, the profit margins of the industry, the costs associated with the industry, any kind of barriers to entry. Most industry reports, at least mine, have a SWOT analysis, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats of the industry. Now, most people, when they put together a business plan, they're usually looking for financing, a bank loan, or something of the sort. And what ends up happening is that a lot of people gloss over this section. They usually gloss over the business plan, by the way, because they just need it for financing. They don't, they're not more concerned with the business, but they're like, just give me the money and let me start my business. But I'm going to tell you right now why it is so important to have industry research. And I'm going to demonstrate it through one of my biggest debacles in business. And this just goes back to 2012. I'm in law school, and a bunch of very intelligent guys that I'm sitting next to, men and women, I'm sitting next to in law school. We have the brilliant idea of starting a water company. Now, the brainchild came with me. I said, everybody needs to drink water. Pretty simple, premise for this business. Let's start a water bottling business. And a little preliminary research online, it shows, $1 billion industry, right? That's, by the way, that's what most industry reports will tell you. They'll tell you what's the total market size of how much, annual sales they made all over the country or all over the world or all over this certain demographic, right? Certain geography. And we read and say, looks like it's growing, looks like it's $1 billion industry, but we didn't go any further than that. And we didn't really ask anybody any other questions, honestly, about the industry. And fast forward to, a year and a half later, we had failed. And the failure was due to a lot of things, but most of the things that the failure was due to were very obvious things that if we had downloaded a simple research report a simple industry analysis report, they would have told us. Things like when you make a bottled label, when you make a label for a bottle of water, you're supposed to be able to read it from 10 feet away. Now, you go to the grocery store today, and you look at Dasani or Aquafina or Poland Spring, and you're 10 feet away, you can read the label. Seems obvious, not so obvious, right? We messed that up. We had a very convoluted label. Logistics, major player in how profitable water companies are. Meaning, you probably want to source as close as possible. If not, it's a whole nother play. It could be something like a Voss Water where the margins are up, but they're very select about the retailers they have, hotels or theme parks, so that the price is up, right? But simple thing like logistics. Oh, you want the bottling facility as close as possible to the population. Didn't know that. Oh, we set up, a state away. The biggest test markets are Arizona, Southern California, and Florida. In Southern Florida. Makes sense. It's always hot there. They go through bottled water quicker than anywhere else in the country. So if you can make it there, you're going to make it anywhere. Well, we didn't know that. We launched in Chicago. Close to right after the summer, it turned into winter. The space for bottled water consolidated in half. And the grocery stores sold more beer and apple ciders during that time and less water. We didn't know that. We could have found that out simply by reading one of these research reports. Now the problem is that you go look up for one of these research reports, and most of the time they want $2-3 for it. Well, I got them on sale right now. I put them up on my website, really only for my past clients, my future clients, and for people that have somehow miraculously found this video, because I don't get a lot of hits on YouTube. But if you found this video, I'm going to put a link below, and in that link below, I'm going to have all of the research reports, and you can get them for anything: the auto industry, retail, restaurants, transportation, cannabis, you name it. I got the research report there, and the industry analysis report there. So I'm gonna put the link below. You're gonna be able to download that. But listen, do yourselves a favor. Even if you don't buy the research report from me or from someone else, do your homework. Do your homework. And one of the other ways to do your homework is industry events. So now, fast forward to learning from my mistakes, right? I'm invested in a manufacturing business, a 3D printing business out of Ferndale, Washington. The name of the company is 3DX Industries, a small public company trading under the stock ticker David X-Ray, DDDX. Small company, helping them grow. First thing I did, downloaded the industry research report. Second thing I did was went to an industry conference. And I'll tell you when I learned that we were going to fail in the water business. I went to an industry conference. And in that industry conference, it was like a college education. I paid $1,000 to get in. But I could have saved myself hundreds of thousands of dollars in mistakes that we made in the first 6 months if I had just attended that industry conference before. So if you don't, my advice is do both. Get the industry reports, and then go to the industry conference and talk to everybody there. They're great at those industry conferences. They'll tell you everything about there, and they're going to try to sell you a bunch of stuff that you probably do or don't need. But the point is, you want to become a master. As Mark Cuban says, you better know more about your industry than anyone else in your industry. If not, they're going to kick your ass. And it's so true. You want to be a master of your industry. So if you're going to go open up a cafe, you better know what the cafe industry is doing. You better know how much everybody in the 1 hour radius prices their cup of coffee. You better know how people are walking in there and paying for it. Are they paying cash? Are they paying debit? Are they putting their phone on there and paying through Apple Pay? You better know all of that. All of that. Hey, why is the sign that color? Hey, why are the chairs this color? Hey, why are the chairs laid out like this? Hey, why is there a to-go menu and a not-to-go menu? Hey, why do some people have Uber Eats and some people don't have Uber Eats? You better know every single detail about your industry. And the two fastest ways to do it are get an industry analysis report or research report and have them for sale all over online. Like I said, I want to put the links below, and I know I'm the cheapest because I did my homework. So they're going to be cheaper than most places you can get it. And try to get to one of those industry events. But if you can't do that, you need to be on every blog, every trade publication. The trade publications are great too. Almost every industry, whether you're talking about a franchise or retail or manufacturing, they all have these industry magazines that nobody reads unless you're in that industry. Go subscribe to that, because the amount of money you're going to save yourself is not the amount of money you're going to spend is nothing compared to what you're going to save yourself. I'm talking about hundreds of it's the difference between you failing and succeeding. Let's put it that way. So that's why you need industry research. That's why you need market analysis. And then it allows you to make smart, intelligent decisions in your business. And you're not going in there blind. Because you wouldn't believe how many times people come to me with a business and they're like, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm like, that's been tried 20 times before and this is why it failed. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know. It's like, exactly. And that's why you want to, and you can't project out financials, by the way, if you're not intelligent enough to know what's going on in the industry. A good business planner, anyone who's projecting out for the next 5-6 years understands you have to have a basis of assumption to project out your next 5 years, right? So if you're saying, I think I'm going to make this much money, or I think I'm going to, target this many people and get this many people to buy my product or service. Well, what's your basis of assumption? How did you know that many people could be interested? Good industry research reports and market research reports tell you those numbers that you can use as a basis and say, okay, these are the numbers that we have data on. They came from the census or, these trade publications. And based on this data, we can project X, Y, Z. That's why it's so important. But mostly it's going to save you a ton of money, a ton of headache. And, you're going to have a higher probability of success if you're well educated in your field. And that's why you need good market research and industry analysis. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments section below. Would love to, answer any questions I can. I try to use the comment section on YouTube as a forum for other entrepreneurs. And if you need my help, you can always hit me up and find me at Cervitude, CERVITUDE.com. I'll put that link below too. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if I get 700,000 likes on this video, real likes, don't be trying to spam my videos. YouTube don't like that. If I get 700,000 likes, I'm going to give $10,000 to a startup or a business who commented on this video. So hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are great. Stay motivated. Never give up. Keep learning. Keep applying what you learned. And I guarantee you'll be successful. Be great, guys.